All right, we are back for another Maniac Monday. You know, it's add the A in it. I always say Manic Monday, but I figured I'd add the A in this
Why
time.
not say maniacal?
We could add that as a new one, huh?
That's too much to say when you.
It caught me early. I was still trying to post on my Instagram. You know, hey, it's time, right?
Yep.
I like that. Remember the guy? What was his name? It's time. The fucking.
I have no freaking clue.
The MMA announcement.
Oh,
Someone's going.
Buffer.
Let's get ready to
Buffer.
rumble.
Yeah.
Bruce Buffer.
It's time.
Yeah.
Bruce Buffer. Dude, how do you get Buffer?
a buffer. I hardly even know.
He's a buffer.
Better than Fluffer.
True.
All right. So, anyways, guys, we are back with the Zig Zone, and we are in the house with Graves and the Bad Weather.
Yeah.
We're going to get to that name here in a second because that's definitely unique, and one of the biggest things that I go over is how bands get their names, and that is definitely one that's unique. So let me drop my bifocals here, get myself ready and prepped up. So we had a surprise on Saturday night or Friday night. So I get tickets for my bass player. His birthday was last month, May 2nd.
Get the fuck out.
Is it the same day?
Yep.
Oh, very
Sweet.
nice. And he's a
Bass player birthday.
bass player.
Nice.
That's awesome. What a quinky dink. So he likes the band called Sons of Texas. You guys ever heard of them?
Nah.
Oh, dude, well, they're heavy and they're fucking badass, dude.
They're really
I
tight.
didn't know who they were until I seen them with Buck Cherry last
yeah,
year.
yeah.
I mean, come on, Buck Cherry.
Yeah, I know
Buck
Buck
Cherry.
Cherry.
Give me a break, dude. I'm telling you, I was watching Buck Cherry when they were, before they were big, when they were playing, in Hollywood at, the Whiskey, Gazzarri's, Troubadour, and always liked them. And then next thing you know, it's like boom, and then they're huge. So me and my son, who's with me tonight, my DD, we went. I got tickets to Buck Cherry, and Sons of Texas was the opening band. And I don't know how they got it on, how they managed to be on the same billing, because Sons of Texas is pretty fucking heavy. And they're kind of like,
It's like, oh, that's too heavy for me.
well, no, I'm just saying, even though I like going to gigs, where it's like you have you don't want to have reggae and then watch someone that's like a punk band and then go into heavy metal. That's just too much.
They're not like real heavy. They're like a real heavy jam band, kind of.
but
it's,
I mean,
it's still
Like
octane.
metal Grateful Dead.
but
Yeah.
it's not something you would kind of like put with Buck Cherry, because Buck Cherry's.
I would.
I don't know. I think it was a great mix. It's a great mix, but it's something you wouldn't. I should say you wouldn't expect it.
Yeah, and that's exactly why I'd do it.
Throw him a
So
curveball.
I seen them live with Buck Cherry and absolutely blew me a fuck away. I was just, God damn, this is a good band. Can't believe I've never heard them before. Because I'm one of the kind of people that goes on YouTube and I start, checking out just obscure bands
Down
and
the
things like
rabbit hole.
that. Right. That's the way we do it. Actually, you know how I found out about you guys? Not from Mark Maples.
YouTube.
No,
Oh shit.
Alina. Alina, she's been
cool.
she's been an engineer and a program director for California for a while, and she's a fan of your guys's.
Oh, cool.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, and I was
we
actually
love her.
I was
was gonna
watching
say
the show, and she had mentioned that because you guys don't know that you guys have 2 songs on rotation at the station.
I did not know that.
You do now.
That's really exciting.
Nice.
Thank you.
Thank you, Alina.
Thank you,
She
Alina.
thank
played
you,
it
Alina.
during a break, and then when they came back off the air, she's like, the host said, "Who was that? That was a good band." And Lena said, "Oh, that was Graves and the Bad Weather."
Oh, stop it.
That's cool.
So I was like, and then I mean that's how the whole thing. So, anyways, I get these tickets, and we go all the way to the House of Blues, and so I'm thinking, okay, well, shoot, they're going to have an opening band, so the headliner's probably not going to go until about 9:00. So I tell the guys, hey, let's go to meet me at my house. We'll leave my house by 7:00. It'll take us 30 minutes to get there. We'll have plenty of time, between, we'll catch like the first band, maybe the second half or the later half of the first band, and then we'll be able to, have a few beers, and then we'll watch the headliner. When we get there, we stand in line, and we're sitting there. We're pretty already fucked up as it is. And
There's this
and
other
we're
show
standing in
going
line,
on.
and there's a bunch of Mexicans, my people, standing in line.
Hot chicks everywhere.
Yes, and we kept telling, "Oh, so you're here to see Sons?" And I'm tripping because wow, I wouldn't think that be attracting so many Mexicans,
Well, they are from Texas.
and so we walk, and there's this long ass line. So me, him, and my bass player, we go all the way to the back of this line, and we're standing in line for probably a good 15, 20 minutes, and then this guy comes walking around. Hey, is anybody in this line to see Sons of Somebody? And I look at the
No, he
guy,
said
I'm like,
that Texas thing.
there's some Texas thing. I'm like, dude, come on, it's Sons of Texas, bitch. He goes, hey, well, follow me, bitch. And so, and the whole time we're sitting there talking to these people that are in line, and the guy takes us all the way into what was it called, the Pinnacle Room or whatever it is.
Some room.
And we go the Paris Room. That's it. And we go inside
Paris
there,
Room?
and they're already jamming. Sons of Texas. The opening band never showed up.
What?
Right?
Why?
So they're already like,
I think they just didn't have one.
Who doesn't show up?
I heard
Was there one
someone
on the
didn't
ticket?
show up. Anyways, they're already jamming. So we went all this way. We caught like 5 songs, and that was it.
It was still
And-
worth it.
It was. I mean, definitely worth it. But I'm like, holy shit, dude. After paying for, oh no, we got the valet parking.
Their bass player's badass. You should check it out.
So anyways, that was exciting. We read just when I got ready to mosh, that was the last song. And it's like ending a Friday night at 9:30. I mean, for fucking reals.
That's really weird.
And that was in Los Angeles?
I'm sure they went out to the party.
Orange County, Anaheim.
Orange County,
Oh, okay, yeah.
The next night they're playing with Hell Yeah at Whiskey A Go Go, and then they're playing somewhere else tonight. So it was just kind of like a warm up show for them.
Yeah, I tried to get them on there, but they had such a busy schedule. Because I've been a friend of them on Facebook, and after I seen them with Buck Cherry, and I'm like, yeah, you guys gotta come on the show, man. You gotta do it. So yeah, man, we'll be there. And then of course, when you get booked, you get booked.
Yeah.
You guys know how that is.
Yep.
So, anyways, that was enough of and then of course I worked all weekend. Any fathers?
None
Not
here.
yet.
No.
Nope.
I mean,
Not that I know of.
Not that we know of.
Not that we know.
Well, you do know what the saying is with the bass player, right? With the chick. Okay. There's a chick, and she's a hot chick. She's taking off her clothes, and then all she starts putting them back on. She goes, "Oh, I thought you were the drummer."
it's true.
Is that true, Aldo?
I'm a drummer too, bro. So, but so welcome aboard, guys.
Thank you.
Once again, I did listen to the show that you guys were on, Mark Maples. He's still a good friend of the show. He just doesn't have his show anymore, and he was really notorious for bringing on a lot of obscure bands. Not seen obscure as a derogatory
I feel like we
term.
are very
You
obscure.
know what I mean? Because here's one of the things. Listening to your guys' music and then seeing you live, it was hot that day.
Oh my
Yeah, it
gosh. I thought I melted.
I thought you guys were going to be playing inside. And I see we want me
No.
and my girl walk up. You guys are setting up outside. I go, man, it's hot.
And it was early.
Yeah.
And so, but I was trying to figure out. I've been trying to figure out since I first started listening to you guys. Well, what kind of music is this? And I'm
You
not.
already said
I'm
it
not.
was
sa-
obscure. You said it. I heard him say
Basically, weird.
Well, one of the things is, and I can't. My band Knuckles Deep. I don't like like if someone says, "Hey, so what do you guys sound like?"
Right.
I'm not going to tell you who we sound like. I'm not going to tell you who we sound like. We sound like Knuckles Deep.
That's right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right.
That's right.
That's right.
But I try to figure out what type and just what style of music it is. And I've been telling you, I've been trying to nail it down to what I can really get you guys, and to me, it's kind of folk rock, kind of country, kind of like old school rock, something kind of like the like the Janis Joplin kind of thing.
I was going to say, we usually say it's a mix of Joplin and Ozzy Osbourne.
Yeah, and it's and I was gonna say then kind of like a little bit later early '80s rock.
Right.
It's very different, and that's one of the things I like when I go see a band. You know, and that's the things I like to be on a roller coaster ride because not one song sounds like the other. You guys don't have a set where after the third song, I've already listened to your whole set.
yeah.
It's I hate that to death. You know, it's like, wow, you hit me. Yeah, it's 3 songs. You're like, oh shit, you lost me.
Oh, this is a really
Play
long
a different
song.
song.
Right? I'm going to get a fucking beer. You know, that chick's got a big rack of titties. I'm gonna go play with those things. So, what? First off, before we get into how you guys come about, writing your music, the first thing I want to find out is how the name came about.
Well, let me tell you. It all started because I used to play under my name, which was Leandra Graves. And then we brought the band together and we're like, okay, we don't want it to just be Leandra Graves because it's not just me anymore. So we spent like a year trying to figure out a name. And I was like, well, what about just Graves? And they were like, nah. And then he had the idea for, you go ahead.
Yeah, because like we went through a couple different bands at that point, and things just didn't work out. So we came back to like this core group, and we were just kind of shuffling off names. Like Graves wasn't going to work because that's still Leandra Graves, still the same thing.
just me.
It's like if Ozzy
Super
Osbourne
emo.
just changed the name to Osbourne, you know who it is. So then we just started shuffling through ideas, and it was me, right? Did I come up
Yeah, it
with
was
Bad
you.
Weather?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Bad Weather. I just wanted something. You hear so many bands with like the typical names. Like I remember my first band was called The Forgotten. The most typical fucking rock and roll.
'Cause they were forgotten.
Teenager name.
Yeah.
We were never even out of practice. We just told all the chicks we were in a band. And the Bad Weather just sounded good because I wanted something rock and roll. I wanted something that was harsh. We're not an indie pop band. We're not a dream pop band. Like I wanted something that stuck in people's heads, something that we could attach an image to as well, like our logo. Something that stuck in people's heads.
Marketable.
And so we came up with the Bad Weather, and we all kind of bought into it, and so we went with that moving forward.
And
So far, it's paid off. People don't forget who we are. So.
Yeah, it ended up meaning different things to each of us, so it kind of worked out.
Well, it's nice to be different, kind of like we had shows. I come with the one Butthole Surfers.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, for real, so how you'll never forget that. And
True.
I mean, they
Wormhole Saloon.
had the one album, but that was it.
It's such a kick.
Now they had shitloads of albums.
Yeah, but they only had the one good album.
The one good.
I don't care how many fucking albums you make.
I used to watch all the surf movies, and they play their music nonstop, and you go through the credits, and it'd be like all these like folk guys, and during all the surfing scenes, and it'd be like the fucking Butthole Surfers.
Well, I would when I was in a band called Bellevue, we played a lot down Redondo Beach at the bars down there, like the Comedy Magic Club and things like that. And that Butthole Surfers were played there all the time. Before they did they got signed and what have you. But I like that. It's different, and it's something that's going to stand out. Kind of like my band, Knuckles Deep.
That's right.
Every time you say Knuckles Deep, it's the dirty mind comes
You get
out.
the
from
visual
everybody.
right away.
I think it's a clever name because it's like just enough.
Right.
Just
You get those wheels spinning, and people
Yeah,
are just
yeah,
like,
yeah.
yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And of course, it's got to fit your music too. So an obscure name definitely goes with the obscure music. So now, how did you guys come up with this sound that you guys have? And you guys have something to plug in, right? Because you got my message.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
That was just
So
kidding.
now, how did you come? Before people listen to what you guys got going on, even though that any true Chaotic Radio fan that listens to the mini shows has already heard you guys' music, but those that have it are going to listen to it. But how did you come up with this sound? I mean, I myself, being a musician since I was 11 years old, I'm 49 now, almost 50, and been through a lot of different types of music. And bands, it's just like going, wow, how do you come up with something like this? It's just different. So who's the brain worker or brain fart or whatever you want to call it?
Well, I tend to write most of the songs. Sometimes we'll have a jam together and then we'll come up with something together. But in the project we were originally in, it was me and him, and then Aldo came along, and that was primarily folk rock, like kind of experimental folk rock. And then suddenly the music kind of started just changing to rock, just the stuff I was writing for whatever reason. So I was like, all right, we're just going to go with it. So my guess is that all the influences that I've had and that he's had have just kind of all merged into one, which is, folk, rock. He was into country a lot. I was into like indie vocals a lot. So it's just kind of an amalgam.
Yeah, it's kind of a long history behind the band, especially with like me and Leandra. Like we met like in the singer-songwriter circuit, just like solo people with acoustic guitars. And then eventually we started we had a full bluegrass band at one point, like an 8-piece with banjos, 2 drummers, lap
Mandolin.
steel.
Sweet.
Okay, well, hence where the country sound that
Right.
I mentioned came from. Okay.
Yeah, so we went straight from that to where 8 people in a band was too many to manage for us. So we
was
ended
a
up
lot.
scaling back, and then it was just the 3 of us, me, Leandra, and Aldo, and all of a sudden we had to fill a lot more space with just a lap steel, a guitar and a voice, and a drummer. And then we kind of like merged it. Me and my buddy wanted to start a country band. So that worked out, and then we decided we just want to be a country cover band and make money on the weekends. And then we realized we liked the originals more, so then we kind of merged both of these bands, and it turned into like a southern rock kind of vibe. And then that in the long run didn't end up panning out, so then we felt like we went back to square one. We had started playing electric guitars instead of acoustic and lap steel, and we decided like, hey, that phase is kind of past. We want to crank up some amps and turn up some electric guitars, and so we started Graves in the Bad Weather, and it's just a huge amalgam of all those different things.
A lot of blues
Aldo's-
influence too, I would say.
yeah, blues. Aldo's got like a big metal background. He loves metal music. I like country and blues and some old school rock and roll. She likes a lot of alternative, and Adam's a reggae guy. So
I just want to have fun, man.
yeah, just like you said, like you've been trying to figure out what we sound like. We've been trying to figure out what we sound like since we started this thing.
I have been told that I have a genre identity crisis at times, so I'm
That's a
trying to
good
work through
thing.
that. Is it a good thing?
Yeah.
Okay, good. 'Cause I'm starting to get a complex.
So Aldo, so you're the drummer.
Yeah.
And it was interesting because Leandra
We should put on some Aldo while he's
sent me a
talking.
message, said, "Hey, I seen you there. Hey, thanks for coming, blah blah." And I says, "Wow, your drummer took a long time to tune a floor
Set up.
tom." I mean, for like 15 minutes, he was tuning this floor tom, and I'm talking to my grandma, going, "Wow, that's a long time to tune a floor tom."
That was a house drum set that we had to play.
Yeah, and then she mentioned, goes, "Yeah, it was a back hit." So I'm like, "Oh, you gotta love those."
Yeah, I wasn't comfortable on that. But no, I think wasn't it one of the sound guy who was doing that? Because I don't.
Yeah, because it wasn't you. It was a
Yeah.
white guy.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
It was probably one of the sound guys. Who
Yeah,
was
they were
like-
just-
And you were
taking
just
a long
kind of sitting
time.
there watching this dude.
Yeah, no, I was waiting to like put everything where I wanted it, and they still hadn't gotten everything together. But
Because you were still thinking the same thing. I would have been. I was thinking at the same time. Wow, this guy's taking a long fucking time, man.
yeah,
Did the thought cross your mind to tackle him? Just push him out of the way. Give me that drum.
let me do it.
Yeah, because you guys went on like a half hour after the.
Did we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was so hot, dude. I
fun.
don't even remember.
You know, that's
It
the
was.
thing is like you find venues like if the show actually starts at 2:00, they post stuff online that says like, "Oh, show starts at 1:30."
Because nobody's ever on
And
time
if it's,
anymore.
if it's a hot day
Right.
on Memorial Day weekend, and you're playing at 1:00 in the afternoon. You don't want people sitting in the heat, man. Tell them what time the show starts.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Let it get it on, and let's fucking blow this people's brains out. You know? So I kind of like I took my focus off of the guy tuning the floor tom to. There was these guys that were painting, and there was 2 guys, and they were just and they were painting one picture, and it was a trip to watch these guys do two guys doing one picture.
Yeah.
And then they were just like enhancing on each other's stuff, and they came up with the picture. I was like, "Oh, well, that was that." It kind of took the time away.
Yeah.
But then you guys hit the stage, and it was definitely the crowd was definitely hey, wow, this is different. And it seemed to me like there might have been a few people that hadn't seen you guys before either, that were kind of like, "Oh, what is this? This is cool," Of course, when I was inside the coffee house.
Oh, come on. I already apologized for that, man.
Holy shit, man.
They had a thing.
Zig, are you saying you didn't have a good time in there?
Oh man, I was definitely glad when you guys started playing because
They were expressing themselves.
Some people need a shoulder or shoulders to cry on.
yeah, you guys definitely took me out of that funk. I was like, oh my god, man, what the hell? When you guys said, okay, now we're here. This is why
You're
I'm here.
welcome.
That was something too, because you literally picked like of that 3-day festival they had in downtown Riverside. Like you picked the worst day, or they picked the worst day to have Zig Ray come down to that coffee shop.
Yeah, the stage we were on was strange because there was one of two nights that they were going to put us on, and the night before we would have fit in perfect. But the stage we were on, it was mostly indie dream pop kind of stuff. So it was
Hence
like
the giant flowers.
hence the
on
flowers
stage
and
with
balloons,
us.
which is
bomb.
cool. But we did not fit in on that lineup at all. It was very strange.
Yeah, it was interesting, but you guys kicked ass. I mean, that's
Thank
the
you.
and one things I appreciate from bands is when you guys perform, you really perform.
Thank
You know what I mean? You guys look like you were playing in front of 20,000 people.
No, thanks.
I mean, for reals. You see a lot of bands for instance, Sons of Texas. I mean, when we went and seen them on Friday, there was probably only about maybe 40 people in there because obviously, and then
We thought it was gonna be all the hot Mexican chicks.
right, we really did.
Swing and a miss.
But they put it right there out in the open. Boom. This is. I don't care if we're playing in front of 2 people or if we're playing in front of 20,000 people. And that's one of the things I really expect from musicians. And you guys really brought it on. Now, Taylor, the sound of your guitar. Where did you figure out that sound? I mean, obviously, you can tell you've been. With the different bands and the setups you guys have been trying, obviously your sound has changed.
Yeah,
But that's a very unique sound too.
Thanks, man.
Ruh-roh.
Easy there.
Nice.
I don't know, man. That's actually a really good question. Like how I came to my guitar sound. It's pretty much everything I thought I didn't want, like in a guitar sound. Like I grew up like my dream guitar when I was a kid was I wanted a Fender Telecaster, and I wanted a Fender Blues Deluxe amp. Because that stuff that I saw, like the amp, I was really influenced by country and blues. Telecaster was a country guitar, the Blues Deluxe, Stevie Ray Vaughan played some of those, So I went through, they make fun of me because I've gone through a million guitars.
Flavor of the month.
I know.
Flavor of the month.
Finally, I ended up settling on the Fender Jazzmaster. And it's funny because that's actually the third one of the same model I've had. It's almost like I don't want to admit that that's the guitar for me. I trade them, and then 6 months later, I ended up coming back and getting another one. And I just love that guitar. And then I played through a PV Delta Blues, and I loved that amp. Absolutely loved it. For me personally, it was everything I ever wanted out of an amp. But then with the sound that we had as a band, we found that, hey, we wanted to add a little bit more grit to the tone. And I'm a huge ZZ Top fan. Billy Gibbons is probably the best guitarist in the world, in my opinion. And so I tried out Marshall's. A buddy of mine, Danny, I tried out his, and it fit perfect. It was exactly what we wanted. Now, there's downsides to it. Like, we don't get a good clean tone. If we wanted to play clean guitars, the gear that we're using isn't going to work. But
Nobody
luckily,
needs
we
I was gonna say, we don't need that.
nobody wants to do that.
17, come on now.
We're a rock and roll band, so we crank up the Marshalls. And I try to be as like minimalistic with the pedals and effects as I possibly can. I've really only got 2 effects, and it's just a wah and an overdrive pedal. Just because as much crunch as that Marshall has, I want a little bit extra.
Oh
you
yeah.
know? So I use an Ibanez tube screamer and a wah pedal, and just plug straight into the amp and just turn it up.
Yeah, it was very simplified, which is one of the things that cause we have the thing called the Drum Clinic, and actually Scott McLaughlin, he was peeking his head inside here. Hey, Scott, you still out
He came
there?
and shot us the bird. Give him the finger.
Is Scott,
Where's
you
the
still
finger
out
thing?
there?
Nope. Wah, wah, wah. There he is.
Scott.
There he is.
Wah. What's
up, Scott?
What's up, man? Me, Graves, in the bad weather, man. This guy just coming on inside here and baiting my show. This fucking guy.
That's what I do. Can't bring your yourself for you, fucker.
Nice.
Oh, very nice, dude. Thanks, brother.
I got
Father
one
of the
other day
year.
for-
Yeah, Father of the Year. That's what I always tell myself too. One of the things that we cover, me, Scott, PJ, the JJ, and
Shots fired.
and Frosty from Xeno is a good drummer is not one that's going to be trying to make yourself stand out. You can show as much talent as you want, but you're taking away from the music.
Unless you're like
And-
chugging a whole pitcher, then it's okay.
And I like the simplicity of the guitar. I mean, it's usually guitars they because you're up front, you want to be the showman and stuff like that. But you kept everything very simple.
Thanks, man.
It wasn't like okay, hey, check this out. I'm Randy Rhoads up here. But
What are you laughing at over there? What are you laughing at?
You were at a good show. Let's just say that.
There have been times, Zig, where I've gone a little
He
crazy.
showboats a little sometimes.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess I did go to the good show then, huh?
Dead.
You had to stand in the shade.
You guys suck, man.
It was
Love
too
ya.
hot at that one. To,
Yeah,
too
it's too
hot
to
hot.
get too crazy.
But see, I can't read my own writing. So Adam,
Yes.
on your bass, I actually when it came to your bass, I actually kind of heard a little, almost kind of like a funk, sound to like you would pop your string, on some of the notes.
Well, here's good news. I've only been playing bass about a year now, and so I'm still developing my own style.
Ah,
And
sweet.
so, yeah, man, if you're hearing what you're hearing, I guess it's the influences of the reggae.
Oh, okay. Which I mean, reggae, has a little bit of well, actually, funk actually has a little bit of derived a lot of stuff from reggae.
Yeah.
So, but unless your finger was just slipping
No,
and
I
it
don't
had
make
that
mistakes.
sharp
man.
note.
I've been doing this game too long.
Did you hear him? He's been playing bass for a year.
So, well, then if you don't, what were you playing before? Guitar?
Yeah, man. Like I was that dude who'd like go to parties and be like, "What's up, ladies? You want to hear some Wonderwall?" You know what I mean?
No.
Was it? Yeah. So you were the guy that went to the parties, like, okay, I'm gonna walk in with my shirt off. I'm gonna play guitar.
Goddamn right.
Right. Leandra.
Yes,
So now
yes.
I'm gonna throw out three singers that I just kind of like felt myself, which probably would have been some influences on you, and you can tell me if I'm wrong.
Okay.
Okay, one obvious was Janis Joplin.
Yeah.
I think I can definitely tell you're a big Janis Joplin fan.
Yeah, she's pretty rocking.
My next one will be Patti LaBelle. So you don't have to answer that yet. Okay, and then my third would be Pat Benatar.
Okay.
So how close am I?
I've heard Patti LaBelle she was the theater, right? She did
No,
theater.
Patti LaBelle was a
Motown.
Motown, big Motown.
Oh, okay. Well, I clearly not because I didn't know who she was.
Because you're looking at me with a blank face.
I
I can
know.
see the blank face
I
behind
was
those
thinking,
behind those
no,
aviation
I was
shades.
thinking Patti LaPone.
No,
Well, yeah, I love soul singing. Like I love Aretha Franklin. So that
well, the same
Kind of
thing.
same kind of
Aretha
thing. Yeah,
Franklin,
yeah,
Patti
yeah,
LaBelle, the same kind of a deal. So I mean, I could have used that one too.
yeah, no, I would say that's pretty accurate.
Just
yeah.
the way you change your vocal range.
Yeah. Well, I was trained classically, and I did a lot of musical theater and stuff. So that's where I kind of learned to capture the range. But yeah, I love like the girls in Heart and stuff.
Oh yeah,
They're freaking amazing.
and
yeah.
in Nancy.
Yeah.
Actually, I feel that they're the absolute number one heart true band on the planet, which is Dog and Butterfly.
Oh yeah.
And they're good friends of mine. And if you listen, on break, I'm gonna go grab their CD. I'm gonna see if I can get it plugged into my laptop. My laptop's been acting up lately, but I'm gonna play Heart and I'm gonna play Dog and Butterfly. I can guarantee you won't tell the difference. There's
That'd be
no way.
awesome.
Nice.
That's cool.
They're that close. But anyways, so then I was pretty
You
darn
nailed
close.
the genres for certain.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
So now, how did you kind of plant that into the music that because you got a heavy metal drummer, which it didn't show because I think this part of the band tones you down a little bit,
He's very
Yeah.
tasteful.
right?
I don't try to play like heavy with. I mean, we're not a heavy metal band, so I'm not gonna try to play like heavy metal. But I mean, I just try to play what's appropriate for what I hear from them.
Like a good drummer.
It's a heavy something.
You can tell you want to get excited though. I'm just saying.
We're trying to get him to do a drum solo, but he's fighting it.
I'm not a big drum solo person either.
Yeah, I don't think people are there for that. I don't know. But maybe some. I don't know. But yeah,
I'd rather just add just all the stuff that you do in a drum solo just to the music and put it
Yeah.
inside there. Scott, he's a diversified drummer also. So he plays in Mr. Crowley, and then go ahead.
God, brain fart today?
Yeah, I am. Dude, I had a big Father's Day yesterday when I got
So
home.
did I.
I had about glasses this size, probably about 10 of those yesterday.
Nice.
Yeah. No, day zero.
Day zero. I was going to say my hero. I was. And also Day Zero,
That's
Mr.
it
Crown.
right now. No, I
The-
was in Smoking Bones, but I'm not,
Smoking
not
Bones.
doing them like anymore right now.
He's like, fuck those guys.
It's too much on one plate,
That's a lot of bands at
If I
once.
Dude.
can't give
Yeah.
them my time, it's like that's not fair to them,
Come over here and talking to the JJ's mic real quick because you're gonna appreciate this real quick, Aldo. You did very quickly on was it Saturday, right? Saturday was the drum that
No, it wasn't. That last Saturday was the drum off.
the drum off. And tell Aldo who you was chilling out with.
Oh, Vinny Appice.
Oh wow.
Come on, man, dude, what a goddamn hero, man. I would
Yeah.
I'd be like popping out of my pants, man.
Well, he plays in a Black Sabbath tribute with my guitar player for Mr. Crowley called Black Sabbatack.
Nice.
Nice.
So it's like, it's Vinny and, my guitar player and stuff. So it's pretty cool, but it's, he's a really laid back guy. He doesn't have that attitude and shit like that. He's a really cool guy.
Yeah, but he's a drum fucking god, man.
Yeah.
I mean, he's like up there. Not like we were talking about the last week with the drum clinic, and then we were. Okay, I'm gonna put you in this one right here. So last Monday, what we did, Aldo, is normally we talk great about drummers. The drummers we put a lot of effort into the music, but I want you to tell me if you can just think off the top of your head. A famous drummer. Okay, it could be from the 50s or 40s all the way up to present. That is a famous drummer that you do not think should have that fame. Okay, I'm gonna give you an example. Mine was Ringo Starr.
Yeah, that was the first thing I thought right now, but I don't know.
You can't use him.
Okay,
Everybody picks a
I got one.
octopus.
And you can't use Charlie Watts.
Okay, no, I got one. Lars.
No.
Oh, shots fired! Shots fired!
I'm not a big Lars fan, but I mean he's cool. I mean I'm not a fan.
Aldo?
You got a special delivery.
Well, this guy talks about how Lars hits a crash every snare hit. So
Let's see what the magic finger has to say to you.
are the batteries dead?
Go fuck yourself. Aldo!
I was gonna say
you know-
Ringo too, but
Actually, you're actually not that off as far as like this fucking guy because
I told him he'd be pissed off. I said Tommy motherfucking Lee.
he said Tommy Lee.
Not
yeah.
somebody- he didn't say somebody that shouldn't be famous. He just said somebody that's overrated.
No.
And everybody, when I was
Bulls-
a kid, everybody thought he was the best drummer, like hands down. He could play. Like I was like, well, he actually isn't like as good a player as like a lot of other
Yeah.
drummers. So I thought he was overrated.
He's
Yeah.
pretty
I still
good,
like the
though.
way he played. Same with Lars. I mean, he was overrated too.
All I can say, dude, is that
He is good though.
all I can say is that me and Scott and PJ, man, about fell out of our fucking chairs when he came up with Tommy Lee. I mean,
I did it on purpose.
For reals, dude. And now here you come with what? That's even worse, dude. God damn, you need to fire
Hey,
this
nobody
drummer.
picked ACDC's drummer.
Waldo's great.
Let me tell you something. You guys need a drummer? I'm there.
All right.
Nah.
Actually, my kid's way too big. My kid would take up that stage you guys were playing on.
Oh yeah, that was tiny. Man.
But you got to now. See, now you have to explain yourself. You got to explain yourself because we're getting ready to take a break. But you need to explain yourself. I just see,
In 2 minutes.
That was me. I know that. See that.
Now go.
Gandalf's back there. I said we need to take a break, and he's flashing the 2 minute warning
Yeah.
sign.
Oh yeah.
Explain
That time.
yourself, Aldo.
I just think
2
he
minutes or
was,
less.
kind of like overrated for like what he did play. I mean, he wasn't bad, just like, yeah, like just I think he had too much hype around him.
Okay, so
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you, what album did you start listening to Metallica?
The age.
I'm gonna guess it was probably Injustice for All, Black. How old are you?
I'm 29.
Okay, so
Post Black.
give me what's the oldest album that you listened to Metallica?
I guess Master of Puppets.
Oh, see, there you go. Am I right? See,
That's a good one. That was his heyday.
What you
I
can do
think.
is go back to Garage Days, go to Ride the Lightning.
Okay.
You know,
was after that.
Garage Days
no, it
Revisited.
wasn't. No, it wasn't. Garage Days was Garage Days was Garage Days.
Well, remember there was 3 different ones. The first Garage Days was Creeping Death.
But Garage Days was
Then they did
the
Garage
older
Days
shit.
Revisited.
Yeah, no.
And then they did Garage Days Revisited.
It was redone.
I just gotta say it's funny because I've never seen like drummers fight before. This is hilarious.
Listen to Ride the Lightning.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh yeah, Ride the Lightning
We'll leave
is
it at
an
we'll leave
absolute
it at that.
must. You know what?
I'll
Do Kill 'Em
listen
All
to it.
too.
Kill 'Em All is another good one.
I wish I still had my old tapes. I used to have like tons and tons of old demo tapes and
what's a tape?
bootlegs and shit. Yeah, on cassette, man. Until my friends spilled beer and then they were done.
So see now looking at Aldo's face like going, fuck, this guy's an asshole. Why'd I even fucking come on the air? No, I'm just messing with you, Aldo, man. Thanks for taking that in stride. We'll be back. It's Zig Zone. We're back with Graves and the Bad Weather here in 2 and 2. So we'll be back to listen to some of their material.
Another shooter she can't kill.
You know, between you and Dutchie, man, you guys got way too much goddamn punk influence going on in here, Gandalf. I'm just saying.
What the problem is? What's happening?
Zig's all hating on the music.
I'm not hating on it.
It was pretty cool. It was a good jam.
You know,
It's a good jam. It's
And
a good
in the
jam.
30 seconds all quiet, I swear to God, dude, that is like putting a Pop-Tart inside of a toaster and waiting for it to get done.
In 30 seconds, you could play a whole punk song.
I'm kidding. No, we had
Yeah, Pole Punch and Pray.
Pole Punch and Pray.
I call them
dude.
Pole Punch and Puke.
Dude, those guys are awesome.
They were awesome. It was funny as fuck because their songs, I mean, I think the longest song they have is like a minute and a half long.
It was funny. 3 out of 4 of them was like, no, we're not punk. We're not punk. And then the singer comes in an hour late. Yeah, dude, we're punk as fuck.
While the bass player's puking inside of a bucket. Remember you're sitting at him.
Yeah.
That's the bass player thing. So
Yeah, that's where Curly got
If you get to
TP'd
that
too.
point, just grab the trash can, dude.
He's got his mega water bottle.
Cheers, guys. All right, so he's over here drinking Foster's and Coors Light.
Yeah.
Oh, Adam's
Or
an
Coors.
animal.
Not even Coors Light, Coors. Taylor says, "Yeah, you guys want a Coors?
one
Just
extra.
help yourself."
I just try to be friendly, man. I got beer over here. Y'all want it? You got it.
You know what, dude? Hey, Taylor, what's the best beer?
Best beer. All right, you're gonna.
Pat, Blue Ribbon.
Nah. You're gonna laugh at this. Honestly, I'm a working guy. I don't buy expensive, fruity beer.
He's a working
Oh,
guy.
say
For
no to
sure.
fruit beer.
A hot day. I like a Corona, man.
He's a working guy.
That's citrusy. That is fruity.
Citrusy. It's just a Mexican beer.
You put
No.
lime in it.
Well, it's
It's
not
okay.
just
Only
citrusy
good
if you don't.
But you know what my answer is? Free beer.
Oh, best answer right there. Yeah, I gotta agree.
You know what I mean? And I'm the same way, brother. Dude, the cheapest shit's all I need.
Yeah.
You know, Gene Simmons said it right.
No,
Cold chip.
we hit up Ralph's before this cheapest 12 pack. I'm sorry, but other than Natty Ice was.
Yeah, yours is like about $5 more expensive than mine.
yeah, I'll pay for it.
You can taste it.
Oh man. So, anyways, we you guys got some music. So,
Yeah.
we want to hear it too. Go ahead and let us know what song it is, and then how it came about, and what it's about, and how it came about.
Okay, I'll talk about the song, and Leandro will kind of jump in as needed. The first song we'll play is a song called "All of Me." It was we recorded this album, the Hyena Rock EP, and we had to put the hashtag in there because we live in a world of millennials, and the only way they find anything is if they put a hashtag
right?
before it. So the first song is "All of Me," and it was our single that we released on New Year's Day. And Leandra can probably explain more as to how she actually wrote the lyrics to the song.
Yeah. He was actually away with the military, I think, or work, one of those two, for like a week. So I was sitting in my garage, and I had been listening to a lot of different kinds of music. So I was like, okay, I'm going to be more honest with the lyrics and write a song that's like actually about me rather than just about like things that people go through. So it's kind of autobiographical and about the fact that I'm kind of a handful and he can handle it.
You're military, dude. I respect that, brother.
thank you, sir.
I've got family in military right now. Actually, one's retiring.
Oh, nice. Yesterday was actually my my last day in the Army.
Was
Wow.
Yeah,
it? Nice. How many years?
6.
All right.
Cool.
Right on, dude.
Congratulations.
And so,
Thank you.
So
It's like a
Leandro's
big
like,
graduation
yeah,
ceremony.
how he can deal with me. He's military. He's trained.
Yeah.
He's trained in that. Although I don't know if there's any part of the military that trains you to prepare for a woman.
Well, no, but I haven't killed her yet. So-
All right, so very good. So yeah, let's hear this tune.
yeah, how do you want me to do this, Zig?
Any way you want it.
All right.
Press play.
This is All of Me, Graves in the Bad Weather.
So you got the plug for it?
Well, you know what? We need to figure out. Hey, you know what? We hit a low here. Is he? Oh,
He's
not
just putting it
plugged
in now. There we
There
go.
we go.
All
Yeah,
right.
gonna push it in there really hard. That's what she
There
said.
it is.
Hey, Michael Scott's in the building.
got the mind that's not fake. Got a mind full of like curiosity for days. I think you dig me, but there's just one thing I gotta say. When I take off my mask, there's a half of phantom in there. Will you hold my hand, or will you run away? Scared, will you have my loyalty? But can you handle all of me? Handle all of me, I've got a laugh to light a whole house, but my highs can be matched with my downs. Will you follow me down and walk me through hell? Knowing kaleidoscopes will once I'm off the ground. Can you handle the anxiety? Will you hold me when I knock me down? Fireworks don't come without a threat. With there comes some when I take off my mask, there's a half of phantom in there. Will you hold my hand, or will you run away? Scared, swear you'll have my loyalty, but can you handle all of me? Handle all of me.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's right.
Yeah. We're all sitting around conversation. Oh, shit. We're back on the air. Holy shit.
Yeah, I tell you what, when we released that single, man, like we were up north. I don't want to say up north. We were at the Slash
In
X
Barstow, yeah.
in Barstow. That's a bar we got to take you, Zig. You would dig that. Take your bikes up there. Oh man. That's
Oh,
your
you
spot.
ride too?
I don't. I just drink.
There's a bar.
If you like riding and drinking, it's your spot.
So if you're in Barstow, you know the Ghost Riders, right?
Oh yeah.
They're big supporters of Day Zero.
Nice.
Yeah.
See,
They made
that's
instead of the Ghost Rider emblem right there, it says Day Zero.
Oh, there
Oh,
you
that's
go.
sick, dude.
Sweet.
Yeah, see, like it's a small world, isn't it?
Yeah.
But now these people can, get a chance to know what I'm talking about. I mean, you can't really like, okay, well, gee, what does that sound like? And it leaves you thinking. And the thing, when it leaves you thinking, it makes you want to hear more. You know what I mean? Well, let me hear something else. I'm going to figure this shit out. And before you know it, you guys are like going, okay, thank you very much. Have a great evening. Well, shit, God damn it, man. I still haven't come up with this whole goddamn idea where the hell they came
You got to
from.
come to the next show.
Right? Actually, when is your guys' next show?
Well, that's actually kind of funny because I want to say like that whole like not knowing what we sound like thing actually plays. I found plays in your favor a lot because we play like a lot of really versatile shows. We'll play a show with a bunch of punk bands, then we'll play with a rock band headlining, then we'll play with an indie pop band. Like nobody can really fit us, so they'll put us in any show they can find.
I can see
us.
that.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
But our next show is June 30th at the Blacklight District Lounge in Long Beach. We're going to be opening for. This is one we haven't done. A band called Crazy Town, like from like the early 2000s, late 90s.
Yeah, butterfly
So we're going to
song.
be opening for them.
Yeah, I was supposed to see you guys the first time at the Riverside the coffee house. No, the brewery.
The brewery, yeah,
brewery.
Empire Brewing
Yeah,
Company.
that was a good show.
The brewery company. Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, Inland Empire Brewing Company.
yeah.
Oh,
Well,
okay.
that
I was super sick that day, so I'm glad you didn't come.
the thing at that during that time, that's when I kind of like got molded into being one of the partners here at Chaotic. So there was a lot of stuff for me to do, and I kind of had to couldn't make a lot of things. And I was kind of bummed, so I kept hitting you up saying, "Hey, when you're playing next?" But it's tough because I work 7 days a week. I have my own business, a motorcycle shop.
So you got to help this guy out right here.
you got a bike?
Yeah, I brought it today.
Yeah, what do you ride, Aldo?
It's a Honda CB500. It's my first bike. So,
Nice.
Yeah.
A
I was checking that
CB500F?
out on the way in.
Yeah,
All right, what year?
it's a 2014.
Nice. I got a buddy of mine, Mike, that listens to the show. He's at work right now, but he kind of listens to the show. I guess puts it on his phone and does his thing. He has the same bike.
Oh, cool.
Those are nice bikes.
Yeah, it's fun.
Okay.
I like it.
I'm a big Honda fan. I ride a CBR 1000R.
Oh, nice.
And both my boys have CBR 600Rs.
Oh,
So yeah, Honda.
Yeah.
You gotta love Honda, dude. Just like trucks, you gotta love Toyotas.
yeah. I like it.
But of course, cars. I have a Camaro, so I'm a Chevy guy when it comes to those. But I got a '99. I don't have a new one. Dutchy's got a newer one.
Oh.
Fucker. But so I mean, how long you been riding, Aldo?
I got it in October and I laid it down in December. And
Dope.
So I didn't get it back till a couple months ago. So yeah, I guess collectively 3 months, something like that.
Okay, very good. So I'm going to ask you: did you take the motorcycle safety course?
Yes. Slept through the whole thing.
Yeah. Obviously, I was not your instructor.
He's a teacher.
I got my license and I did the whole thing. I just made a bunch of mistakes when I was taking a right turn and yeah.
Oh, see, so okay,
so it went
okay,
down
wait,
heavy
wait,
on the
wait,
side,
okay, wait.
huh?
So you were making a right-hand turn.
Did you counterbalance?
I'm not even going to say. I'm just going to come up with one easy scenario that you did to cause yourself to crash. And I'm going to say that if you were turning and you had the bike lean over, you touched that brake, didn't you?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I did.
Oops.
Was it the front brake?
It got real heavy real quick,
Yeah.
didn't it?
Yeah. I think I didn't adjust my speed before I went in.
Did you take off wide? Or this was the right corner?
Yeah,
So you're not
right
coming
turn.
from a stop. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, I think I just.
Did you get spooked or just went in a little too fast? You got
I
spooked.
went in fast, and so I got when I was in the lean, I was like, "Oh man, I'm going too fast." So it's just instinct, I guess. Kicked in.
Well, that's one of the things that's one of the top 3 things that I tell riders.
Yeah.
That especially new riders, they're going to make a mistake, and is if you go into a corner too hot and you got that bike leaned over, your brain tells you that you need to slow down. And
Yeah.
the first thing your brain wants you to do is brake.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And so
what
I'm
happened.
going to give you the best piece of advice that I give you. I'm going to give you and I give all my students. You're always better going into a corner too slow than too fast.
And then hit the gas.
If you go in too slow, you can always speed up. If you go in too fast, you're committed.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, you kind of got to speed up anyway.
Yeah, through the turn, I guess.
That's what I'm saying. If you go in too slow, you can always speed up. But if you're going too fast, you are committed. And then there are some
You still
things
gotta
that you
speed
don't
up.
do.
Yeah, don't break.
No, you don't speed up. You maintain your throttle.
Faster.
Don't take lessons from this fucking guy. See, you know what? That's probably what he was probably in your class. You were just watching. Well, if he can do it, I'll do it too.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Aldo was a badass though, man. Right after he got in that accident, we told him hey, take all the time you need. You heal up, you're a drummer, get it right. This guy was back playing shows a week later with one arm.
I had one arm in the sling, and yeah.
Riverside legend.
Nah.
Dude, props, brother. Back in 1993, I got into a bar fight and I got stabbed, and I had 2 holes in my left lung.
Ouch.
And then a week and a half later, I played a gig.
Oh wow. That's,
Yeah, so my band was all going, hey, forget, we'll cancel the gig. No, fuck no, dude.
Did your lung
I
collapse?
was in the hospital for 3 days, and then I went home, just laid in the bed, recovered, slowly, but they're like, oh, you still want to? No, we're gonna fucking play.
That's right. Because
Let's
music
do
is
this.
life.
Yeah.
Let's do this, man. In all the years I've been playing, I've never canceled a gig. So props to you, Aldo.
props to you.
Do you ride Adam?
I've never been stabbed.
Yeah, you don't want to be either. You don't want to be. But a motorcycle crash is still just as bad, dude.
Yeah,
because then you get fucked up all over your body. Especially when you're tumbling. So, Adam,
Were you wearing
riding?
leathers?
Yeah, I was wearing a jacket.
Más o menos. Más o menos, yeah. Like dirt bikes, yeah.
Oh, right on.
Yeah.
Fucking
Yeah.
ass riding, dude. I ride in dirt too.
Yeah, yeah.
Right on. What do you ride?
YZ 450F.
Sweet.
Yeah, and I did what you said not to do. Grab that front brake.
Well, at least you were in the dirt, because I always tell people, if you're in the dirt, if you're riding in the dirt and you don't crash, you ain't riding.
That's right.
The street is when you're not trying to crash.
I got 18 stitches, and
18 stitches where?
in my knee.
Oh, okay. I was going to say
Yeah.
not in your chest because, you know.
It's all plastic surgery.
Inland Empire hashtag plastic surgery. I don't know. But yeah, man, like motorcycles are the way to live.
Yeah, buddy. Love it. So, Taylor,
Yeah.
so, I mean, it's all the, I wouldn't say all, but I would say majority of the military guys that I know ride.
You know what? I would love to, but I just can't afford it. I've wanted to so many times in my life, and I just can't afford to do it. I can't buy a bike. Well, one, because I'm such a big dude. Like, I finally found a bike that I could afford, went to go buy it, and it didn't have forward controls, so my legs were too just backed up on me. I get cramps right in it. So eventually, I'll get there, Zig.
I can hook that shit up, dude. I can hook that shit
you
up.
and I'll have to talk, brother.
That's what that's one of the things that I did. Did it for almost 34 years.
Unfortunately, I'm married now, so you, me, and the wife will have to talk.
Well, see, that was the next question.
Is being married that unfortunate?
No, it's not unfortunate.
My whole
I got a hell of a life insurance policy, so you know. It's
well, that's why I went 1, 2, then I went to you, and now I'm gonna go to Leandra. So now, what do you feel about riding on the back of a motorcycle or riding one yourself?
I dig it. Yeah, I mean, it makes me nervous because I'm always afraid someone's gonna die, like just in general, you know. But
Well, shit, that's not the best one.
I actually wrote a song about it.
Did you really?
I did.
I was gonna say that would be a cool song.
It is. It's in the phone.
She gets really nervous because my dad has a lot of old like 70s Harley stories. He was known in like LA as like the Mad Russian. He'd ride at like 90 miles an hour without a helmet. On
Yeah,
the
my
101
my friend's
in the
dad
rain.
just passed away like a couple years ago from motorcycle riding. So, but I mean, I think they're cool. Like, I think it's cool to do as long as you're like, you know, not an idiot.
All right. Well, you know,
I didn't mean it like that. I just meant like be safe about it.
So what you're saying is
We're all like not trying to look at Aldo.
I've ridden them before though. I was out in Africa and I rode around on a dirt bike and stuff. And I thought it was super fun.
in Africa,
Yeah,
Cool.
Kenya.
nice. So, what did you ride in Africa?
I don't remember.
Honda
It was-
Africa twin.
Oh no, dude, that's classic, man.
No, see, she was drinking some of that jungle juice, and it was actually a fucking zebra that someone taped some fucking handlebars to its head.
Oh my
I was
god!
riding a
that'd be amazing.
motorcycle. It was black and white.
I want that.
I thought I was a cop. Pull over. Woo! You snorted.
That's what happened, dude. I don't know. How'd you know?
You know, it's funny because I was in a conversation with a buddy of mine a couple of days ago, and we were talking about, you know, what country would you want to go to, you know, just for a vacation. And I said, I don't want to go to any other country. And the last one I'd want to go to, or there's two last ones. One is South America, and the other one was Africa. And they go, well, why wouldn't you want to go to Africa, man? You get to see lions and zebras and all kinds of stuff. I'm like going, yeah, but all it takes is one mosquito, man, to fucking ruin your whole goddamn life, man.
I was on malaria medication the entire time just to prevent it.
So you were in Africa doing what?
Blessing the rains.
Blessing the rains. It was like a mission trip kind of thing. Yeah, through a church.
Oh, right on.
Yeah. They went out. There's like a kid sponsorship program. So all the people from the church that sponsor the kids went out there. And I didn't happen to be sponsoring a kid through that program, but I still went.
Well, now
Way to cheat the system.
I know. Well, I had to pay for it, but yeah, I just still went.
Did you really?
Yeah.
You volunteered and had to pay for it?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
It was crazy. Like she told me stories. Like she met people who had never seen like a white person before.
Yeah, a lot of the
Just
kids
freaking
never
out.
seen a white person, so they like trip out.
Really?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Isn't that weird how that still happens, like, you know, I mean, we're in the millennium, and it's like, people are like, wow,
What year is
it's a
this?
freaking white person. What the hell?
We're so spoiled here in America.
Yeah, well, they live out there. Like, we went to a really small town, so.
Well, that's crazy. A lot of crazy shit happens in Africa.
Yeah.
That is like an untamed, world in its own.
Yeah,
You know,
definitely.
I love watching Discovery Channel and all that shit, dude. And when they start talking about Africa and all the shit that goes on, I go, fuck, I'm never going there.
Well, we went on a safari, so that was pretty cool. We got to see lions and stuff. Like, towards the end, we did like touristy things, and we went to it was a restaurant called the Carnivore, and it's just like all different kinds of meat, like on the spits and stuff. And I had alligator, and that was like really good.
Alligator's good meat.
It was so good.
No, I can definitely vouch for that.
Yeah.
But see, there are restaurants you can go here.
Yeah, you can go to Louisiana and get
When in
some fries.
Rome,
you can't
when
get
in
zebra.
Africa.
You can't get zebra, but you can get alligator.
I'm sure we could find some. Well,
I wouldn't doubt it.
America.
Illegal.
I don't know. It was a pretty good
Let me
restaurant.
check Facebook.
They
real
got a
quick.
place right down at Chino that sells alligator meat.
Yeah, but it was better because it was in Africa.
It was fresh.
It was fresh.
Yeah, we just killed it this morning. It didn't have to be shipped. Take 2 weeks to ship to America. And so, I mean, obviously, then if you're military, Taylor, then you probably have been to quite a few.
I've done some travel, yeah. I've done more travel in like my civilian life than I have in my military career.
Really?
But yeah, I've been some cool spots, yeah. I've
Yeah,
been some really bad spots too, but yeah.
I mean, nowadays it's like when I was young, I was like, oh, I want to go here, I want to go there. I don't know, maybe it's just 'cause I'm older, and I want to see some grandkids eventually. Dylan, don't even think about it. At least not right now.
Oh, does that mean you want Drake to have grandkids now?
No, fuck that. Drake better not be coming close to having something like that. But the only place the farthest I want to go is Hawaii.
Oh, it's beautiful.
No,
there.
that's what I was
Never
gonna say.
been there.
You already picked the best spot. You're in the U.S.
That's right.
There you go.
Yeah.
And of course the whole melting pot thing, which is like, like you said, people like looking at you like going, holy shit, it's a ghost.
Yeah, really.
But it is kind of weird. So I'm going to guess that you guys have, so you guys write about life experiences,
Generally,
right?
yeah.
So what do you have as far as a life experience song to play for us, Skip?
Well, do you want to do Day I Die?
Yeah, we could do that one.
Yeah, that's when I wrote. Like I said, I have a fear of people that I know dying or myself dying. And I had a nightmare that I died, and I got to see, I think I saw everyone's reactions in the dream. So I woke up and I was tripping out. So I wrote out a prayer, please let my family be safe if I ever die. Let it be a natural thing. Don't let it be some catastrophic thing where everybody seizes up or whatever. So I don't know, it turned into this.
So no VX.
Yeah.
All right. Well, shit. Let's listen to it.
All the day that I die.
Yeah, see, that vocal range is where I was talking about when I said Patti LaBelle. It was you, and then of course Janis Joplin kind of mixed in too.
Yeah.
And she had a little bit of the raspness of it, but you had this where it's the sister thing, going through challenging that vocal range.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
how, so. Have you had vocal training?
Yeah. I took vocal lessons for a few years with a lady. She's a retired opera singer. So I went like classical ground up.
Opera training.
Yeah.
Wow, that's like the hugest. I've watched a few operas, and I'm like, wow, how does someone hit those notes?
I've slept
It's a
through
trip.
some operas too.
Amazing.
Yeah, opera training's a trip because it like gives you the foundation to be able to sing really anything. It's really amazing.
It works way better with the rock style. Like that bluesy rock sound you got is just like it's got a good groove.
Thank you.
It works so good with
gnarly.
rock in
It's
general.
yeah.
Like, I mean, I don't know anybody who's ever said they don't like System of a Down. A lot of people don't know.
Yeah,
I do.
wait. You're looking at one.
Really?
Boy,
I know somebody who hates System of a Down.
Go
And
ahead,
not
hate
him.
me. That's okay. Aldo, you gonna give me some
man.
shit
I
right
like
now, dude?
him, but I cannot figure out what his grandma does. Something about a brush or something. I don't fucking know.
Is it a challenge on
And makeup.
for you, dude?
Fuck that guy.
The singer for System of a Down, Serge Tankian, a lot of people don't know he was like a famous opera singer in Armenia before he ever
Yeah.
joined System
Actually,
of
if
a
you
Down.
listen to his
Was he
solo
really?
stuff,
You can totally tell.
Wow, what happened to him?
System of a Down went down for a while, and they did their own thing, and he did his own thing.
Yeah.
And it was
Yeah.
like this really, really like ultra refined radio rock kind of sound.
Yeah.
completely different.
Yeah, and like it or not, I mean, I don't. He's a hell of a singer, man.
oh yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
no,
that's great.
I'm not.
Yeah, Ariel's in the sky, man.
Are we gonna
let's-
fight right now,
let's-
Zig? Are we gonna fight?
Very challenging stuff.
Let's. I'm
all
not.
singing for
I'm
Zach.
not saying
Ariel.
that the musicianship wasn't there.
No, but
I'm
the
saying
message. Are you talking about the
I'm
message?
saying the band as a whole sucks donkey dick. You know, I just
Nah.
look.
Oh,
let me
dude,
tell you something.
Darren
See,
Malakian
one,
is so innovative when it comes to guitar.
your guys' music, I like it. Every musician.
That's good.
Every
He's like,
musician.
but System of a Down, they can suck a fucking donkey dong.
Every musician in your guys' band props the other one. That one there, I just think everyone's doing their own fucking thing. I just don't get it.
So, Zig,
it doesn't make any sense to me.
I could
Zig, what I'm
see
getting-
what you're saying. Yeah.
What I'm getting from this conversation is Zig Ray just said that Graves in the Better Weather is better than System of a Down.
Yes.
Oh.
That's absolutely correct. Absolutely correct. Because I didn't leave the keys on the table. And I did not tell you 5,000 times I left the keys on the table. I'm just saying. And I seen them live at the Ozfest and was like, holy shit, dude, let me go take a piss.
I like their song about pizza with angry peppers.
You know what
that was a good song.
That's one thing. Is I've never seen them live, and like you can listen to every album by any band you've ever heard of. You never actually know what the band sounds like until you hear them live.
Oh yeah.
Truth.
Yep.
And I've never
They have a
seen
live
System of a Down
sound.
live.
Now, and we had a conversation.
No, we didn't.
Before about that, and I said they're in studio, but when you see them live, they sound like shit. You guys, what you have recorded, and when you guys play live, still sounds the same. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's
Good.
it's still good. It's
Yeah,
not like you have all this enhanced studio bullshit. And well, I'm not going to say auto tune because he's obviously a good singer, but it. In the studio is one thing. When you put it out there live, and I'm like, oh well, how in the hell did you end up in the fucking studio?
Yeah, that's
Who? What idiot was the one that sat there and invested in this? Obviously, he made money on it, so he was a smart investor. He just didn't have an ear for music, but so I think you guys have a better chance than that.
Well, thanks.
I'm just
that's
saying.
good.
That's kind of an interesting spot we're in right now too, because like you guys do radio, you guys know how the music industry is. Like if you want to, you have to constantly put out content. So we released the album in April 22nd.
22nd. Yeah.
And we're already thinking like, how are we going to record a next album? What songs are we going to do? Yada yada yada. And one thing that we realized is like we recorded this album a year ago, and we didn't actually start playing live until this past January. Our first gig, I think, was January 7th.
As this group. Yeah.
And we've realized that as much as we love the album, there's subtle differences in our live show that we want to try to capture in the next record. And so we're trying to figure that out, whether we do like a live record or we definitely want to make it more raw, more in your face.
I think it'll be easier with the next record too, because like you said, we weren't gigging with the first one, so we didn't have the live sound nailed. But we're gigging now, so we're gonna have the new songs, like we're gonna have the vibe down better, so we'll know how to record it.
Yeah, we're good too.
Well, and also watching you guys live, there's a lot of eye contact with you guys.
Yeah.
Which is great. You know, that's what keeps everything tight. You know. Well, except you, because you're the one that wants up there and shining. You're just like you're
It just
seeing
sounded like a dirty joke to me.
Oh. Well, you know.
I'm married. I can say that.
See, I'm one of the persons that would like to push boundaries, but I'm not gonna, push any kind of boundary that might be offensive and have your husband like reach over the fucking, desk here and like.
He is veteran.
I will drop the guitar.
My apologies.
But there's a great camaraderie with you guys on the stage, which pays. That's what really makes a live show and keeps the band tight. And you see some bands like, for instance, System of a Down. When you watch them live, they hardly ever really look at each other. They hardly even pay attention to each other. Can
Yeah, it's
anybody?
because they hate each other. They just can't stand like being on the same stage together.
Well,
but these guys love each other.
Complete haters.
Okay, Scott. I mean, tell me. I know you've watched System of a Down live. Can you tell me I'm wrong right now?
You're dead wrong.
Oh,
Thank you.
this fucking guy.
I'm with that guy.
No, when you can write shit like that, that's so obscure and different. I mean, you're obviously in a different level of writing. Like as far as you're more mainstream, more. God damn, what are you trying to do here?
He's trying to destroy the fucking shot glasses, man.
No, but
one thing I got to say about System of a Down is like I don't agree with everything that they write about.
Well, definitely.
I love the way that they write it.
Yeah, exactly.
No, he likes them.
I like the music.
He likes
the
them.
words. I don't even know what the fuck he's saying. Oh, keys and table.
Something about mushroom people.
I don't give a shit. It's like
Gonna put on some makeup.
I like the music. I like the diversity in the music. I'm an old school like Mr. Bungle fan. Faith No More and just weird shit.
Faith No More kicks ass.
Yeah.
I like them.
So if you're in, I mean,
the drummer ended up being playing for Ozzy for fucking years.
yeah.
Wow.
Oh, you didn't? Who said wow?
I didn't know that.
You didn't know that, huh?
know that.
Oh hell yeah,
Buffy.
dude! He
Buffy.
did what, 3 albums, four albums,
He did mostly live, but I think he did like 1 or 2 albums.
2 albums. Okay, but yeah, he was back to
They had so
great
many
drummer,
drummers. God.
really good
Ozzy
drummer.
had just way too many guitar players, drummers, and all that shit to keep count of. That's why it's so
Yeah,
hard
that-
to
that band
replicate
switched the roster
everything
so
that they
many
do,
times.
like to a T. It's insane.
Yeah, he did have a lot of musicians. He had Vinny and Peace too.
Yes.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. I've had people say no, it's Appice. I'm like, what the Appice?
I don't give
the
a
fuck.
shit.
It's a piece. And now,
the fuck
since you know Vinny and Peace personally, how do you pronounce it?
Don't ask me that.
That's the first thing.
Well,
he
you know
asked.
what? Okay,
Is it
great.
Bosio or Bozio?
You're,
I
you're,
just said, "What's
you're
up,
gonna
Vinny?"
have to find that
Say,
out
hey,
for
what's
us.
Up? Apathy, peace.
Or
Did you call him my cousin Vinny?
And I think you can answer that first.
Or
That was,
He said no.
That was vagina, by the way.
So, Adam, what kind of rig you play?
I got a Fender P bass, American Standard, with a 40 watt rumble.
Yeah,
You sure?
Yep, I'm very sure about that. Because, like,
Adam's been sneaking all my beers under the table. So
that's right. Yeah, it's great because like the 40 watt rumble like weighs like 3 pounds, and I'm just like,
this guy's got the easiest setup in the whole band.
the strongest
Most
guy.
bass players do.
But he's got the muscles, so we make him carry the Marshalls too.
that's true.
Make that fucker carry the drums.
Well,
They
so,
put the smallest guy.
Right.
so you play a four string bass. So how would you feel about playing a 5-string bass? And what do you think that challenge would be? Have you ever attempted to play a 5-string bass? My bass player, all his basses but one is all 5-string.
I That's a different.
I don't
sound.
want to like complicate the
Not to
the
compare,
mix.
but
He's like, I just started playing a fucking year ago, man. Really, dude? Come on.
Yeah, dude, come on, man.
I can tell you, I've been playing guitar for 16, almost 17 years, and I've never touched like a 7-string guitar. I have no idea what it would do.
They have an 8-string bass.
Yeah, kind of like a more darker.
Yeah,
sound.
yeah, and
You
if I
guys have
if I
more of
picked
a
it up, I have
beat,
no
right?
idea what it would sound like. I wouldn't even know how to tune that top string. I have no idea.
Well, I don't even know how what's his face from Cheap
It's like
Trick
having a
even
third snare.
dealt with whatever he
Oh,
did.
thank you, thank you.
There's just not that many tones. There's not that
that's
many
a good
different
thing.
tones in Cheap Trick. I mean, come on, dude. Anybody can play it on a 6-string fucking guitar. Why do you need a 7 or an 8? He had some custom made. What was it? Correct me if I'm wrong, Scott. He had a 16-string guitar. Am I correct?
Cheap Trick?
Yeah.
Oh, that guy had all
The
kinds of
entire
weird
room just
stuff,
collectively
yeah.
went, wrong?
No, that's why I said correct me if I'm wrong.
It
Did he not have a
wouldn't surprise me
6-string?
if that guy had a 1-string guitar. That guy had so much weird gear. Like I watched a rig rundown the other day where he had a warehouse full of old guitars that he just wanted to sell. This guy had guitars made out of tin pans. Like that guy was all about playing the weirdest gear he could find.
He was a good guitar player.
Oh, he's great. He's
Definitely.
great, but he's very eccentric as a guitar player.
Yeah.
Which adds to his skill. He's an amazing guitar player.
Which is kind of funny because you don't really hear the different sound when you listen to any Cheap Trick album.
No, you
I
don't.
just don't.
Yeah, I think the
Me,
same thing
myself,
about Billy
I-
Gibbons. Billy Gibbons is like that. He plays guitars. You have to start with a key. Like
Billy Gibbons is badass.
Yeah. Oh, he's amazing. Yeah.
You know, and it's amazing that
Yes.
you know what? Didn't we talked about shit? What's his the drummer for
Cheap Trick.
no, not Bunny Carlos. For
Bunny!
Billy
Bunny
Gibbons.
doesn't play for
Oh,
me.
you're talking about
Frank Beard.
Frank. Yeah.
Frank, yes.
Yeah.
Great drummer too.
He's good,
That's
man.
not-
He's
You like
solid.
him, man?
Yeah,
So
he's
he-
good.
he's
I like
steady.
ZZ Top in the pocket.
Just really good backup.
Yeah.
You know, to enhance the rest of the band. You know, that's great.
yeah, I like that. Like in the pocket drummers that are just playing what the music needs, and
Yeah, now look at me.
yeah, I don't.
You know,
I'm not
I
a
mean,
fan
dude,
of
Yeah,
that.
he was a great fucking pocket drummer.
He was. Just like Tommy Lee was.
Yeah, not so much. Frank Beard's up higher on the list.
That's like a lot of I mean,
That's
you
why
look at
he's
Stevie Ray
vagina.
Vaughan in Double Trouble, and that was the best
Dude,
rhythm section.
yeah.
I've
Come
ever heard in my
on.
life.
Come on.
Yeah.
Like,
Really?
and there's people who don't even know what their names were, and they were the best rhythm section.
I can't
ever.
tell you.
I don't know their
I ca-
names,
I
but
cannot
that fucking
name every
drummer and
single-
bass player just like, oh my fucking god. they
I
must
just
have
said
been
that,
in
and I
bed
couldn't
together.
even tell you what their names were. But I know that the drummer
They were double trouble.
I know the drummer
One
produced
was
like a lot of
double.
Talking Heads albums, which was a great rhythm band.
Well, and you know who else had a really good band behind her was Sade.
Dude, Sade's
You know,
amazing.
She's so
Just,
fucking hot.
You know, 4 drummers. You know, and all
Baby
playing,
making
playing
music.
well, not drummers, I should say, a percussion.
ensemble.
Well, it's like
Ensemble, you
you
know what I
listen
mean?
to Sade and you do not remember Sade's lyrics, but you can hum the melody.
Right.
Her whole band is just fucking killer.
Yeah, just absolutely amazing. I love that kind of shit, dude. Yeah. It's funny. I was listening to Sade one time. I was sitting at a stoplight, and my truck and my Camaro both have really good sound system. But I was in my truck, and I'm running a 1,000-watt amp inside that thing with a couple tens, and I'm listening to Sade. And so here I am, and I had my hair, and it was all spiked up. You know, I have like a wider.
I'm just trying to imagine you
I got a
now
wider
listening to
mohawk, you
Sade.
know, but it was standing about this high. And I'm sitting there just listening to Sade. I'm all like doing the you know the whole I'm in love with Sade movement, you know, and I look over. You know, you can feel someone looking at you,
Oh
Yeah.
and I kind of look over, and these two people are looking at me with this look like this. Yeah, and I look at him like I'm in a moment. Let me fire a joint,
That's right. That's right.
dude. Shot it makes me want to smoke pot.
Oh yeah.
I'm
There-
just saying.
Every one of our songs
When
is
you're in the
about
military,
smoking.
a lot of things make you want to smoke pot.
I can only imagine.
Cheers.
Cheers. I think JJ just wants to polish off this bottle, right?
Actually, he was the one who wanted to pour it.
Well, no, I haven't my shot yet, fucker.
Oh yeah, he didn't take his, so he wants us to take it.
I didn't want to cheers you again. I'm handing you my fucking shot glass. He's all dink.
I'm supposed to be super professional right now.
I'm professional.
Can't even say the word.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
So now this album came out when?
April
I'm gonna
April
put up the
22nd.
for everybody.
April 22nd of this year, we played our CD release party, and actually that night we released it on everything online.
Yeah.
Where are you guys located at?
Riverside. Yeah, Riverside area. I mean, we claim Riverside, California, because that's where we all kind of met. That's where we developed as musicians. Right now, we're a little spread out. So, all in the IE, though. Corona, Norco, and Riverside.
Oh, nice.
So,
That was what my next topic was. Bands from like LA, and then bands from IE. Once I moved out here, I'm actually a South Central LA, local. I'm from the old stomping ground, where it was, okay, well, let me see. How many fights am I getting in today? Or how many, cops am I going to try and ditch today? When I moved out here, of course, then being in bands inside, LA and doing the whole Hollywood scene in the mid, 80s up to the mid 90s. Everyone thought that, okay, all the good bands are going to be coming from the Valley in LA.
Right.
When I moved out here and I started, going to the local clubs and watching local bands, I'm like going, holy shit. It almost seemed like that there was a whole new music scene, that I was like, wow, I just fell in love with really, really quickly. And now you guys, you don't
really quickly.
You guys do a lot of gigging.
yeah, we play a lot.
But I do notice that you're not focusing on Hollywood. And can you tell me why?
That's funny that you mentioned that because I actually just started going out to LA recently and going to shows and trying to book shows out there. So I think first we were just focusing on what we knew because we had toured the Inland Empire before. So now that we've been doing that for the last few months, we're starting to branch out a little bit.
Yeah.
Now, do you think that the IE has the potential to be the new Hollywood?
Goddamn
That's-
right.
I think it does.
I don't know. I don't know anymore.
I really does.
Sorry.
I really do, rather, because like you look at places like, think about the music capitals of the U.S. in the last 50 years. You got Chicago, Nashville, and Los Angeles. And all those places, very few people want to go there anymore because it's so saturated, and you get these businessmen who come in and they just destroy the music scene because all they want to do is make a buck off the
Yeah,
people
that's
who are
true.
actually working hard and writing the songs.
See, we've had that conversation before. It's
Yeah.
exactly the same thing I fucking said.
Well, it's true.
These guys, just like everything, I mean, you get these guys in suits that come in, they're criminals. Writing songs, yeah, it's not working in a ditch, but it's hard work. You got to find a way to express your soul and what you actually want to say in front of whether it be 5 people or 1,000 people, and that's not easy work to do.
Right.
And you take most guys, they couldn't write a decent song to save their life. And I'm not even saying our songs are amazing, but you go to LA, you go play anywhere, you got somebody who looks good or can sing well or play guitar really well, and they're just going to take advantage of you.
And I think there's a lot of copycat stuff going on, in Hollywood.
absolutely.
So, it's like, oh, well, this band sounds really good, so let's, kind of sound like them. We had a conversation when we were talking about Guns N' Roses, where they were very obscure.
Mm-hmm.
They were just dirty. They just came out. There wasn't nothing showy about it. It was just we're walking up there with holy ass jeans because that's pretty much all we have, and ratty ass equipment, and we're just gonna rock the fuck out of this place.
And you know what? There always seems to be a band like that in every generation who comes and just smashes the mold.
Right.
I mean, in the early '90s, it was Nirvana. Like Nirvana defined my childhood. In the '80s, it was Guns N' Roses. Like they came along and, against all odds, just destroyed the entire music industry. broke
Soundgarden,
everything
same
loose.
thing.
Soundgarden, yeah. I was gonna ask, what do you think the most recent band to do that is?
Me? Mm-hmm. So I don't know if they've fully come to their potential yet, but at this time, I would probably say Alabama Shakes.
Oh yeah, they're
Or-
pretty
yeah.
good. Yeah.
Or you know what? Even a guy like Chris Stapleton.
yeah.
Chris Stapleton is one of the most amazing songwriters I've ever heard, and everybody across all genres listens to his music. And he's a guy who actually writes his own songs and puts in the work.
Even if they don't want to admit
Yeah.
You know,
I would say
How
Jack
do you-
Jack White did that too, actually.
How do you listen to a song
Yeah.
like Tennessee Whiskey and don't bump your head and know what he's talking about?
sure, yeah. And Jack White's another good example.
I
you know.
love him.
And I think because we've had bands in here, from the Hollywood scene, and it's always they'll name off the typical bands, not the really obscure ones, and the bands that are from the IE, they start rattling off bands like going, who's that? I've had bands trick me, like, yeah, we listen, and I'll okay, well, let me listen to this. Holy shit, that's badass. I think IE is the thing with the IE bands, because we have 7 Days Away, we've got Day Zero, a lot of these great original bands.
You guys have had Reclaim the Sky,
and there's
too, an
Xeno.
amazing
We've had
band.
Reclaim the Sky is a really, really good band. I'm a huge fan of them.
Yeah, I didn't mean to say that the Inland Empire isn't a great scene. You know what I mean? I just, in my experience, we don't fit what is popular in the Inland Empire usually, so it's a little bit more difficult.
That's because we
Well, what I think it is I think that it hasn't really hit. I don't think, because we had M15, which was a great place.
yeah,
great
it closed
venue.
down like that.
Yeah, but to see some really good local bands, open
Yeah.
up for national acts. I've graced that stage. Scott's have graced that stage many times. There's still obvious potential there. It's called what now?
It's an '80s thing.
Yeah,
I
it's an
mean,
80s
the
club
thing
now.
is, it's like just too.
It's not a
Too
venue
much.
anymore, is it?
No, it's too much
I haven't been
voice
there.
towards like '80s music, and not hard stuff, like new wave shit.
Well, I
Yeah.
can tell you,
It's
like,
like-
coming from the IE and playing so many of our gigs in Riverside, the only thing that people care about, especially the college kids now, is they want that dream pop sound. If you don't have your delay pedal cracked to 10, they don't care. But every show that we play, including whether we're playing with a punk rock band or a dream pop band or something, you feel this energy in the crowd. People are craving just whatever you want to call it. I just call it rock and roll. They want hard, in-your-face music with a message and with an actual story behind it, not just saying sunshine and rainbows and stuff, because life's not about that. They want a song like, for us, it's like All of Me. They want something that's
Just the
direct
truth.
to the point and loud. You can feel like, especially Riverside, where we play a lot, you can feel people like kind of bursting at the seams, wanting that rock and roll back.
That's
And
why.
it's really interesting to see.
Yeah.
Well, I think that that's one of the things that about the IE is one of my points is that the IE wants to hang on to the roots of rock and roll. So it's like I said, like an obscure band like you guys can make that happen. I mean, you guys can sit there and you can go up on the stage. And when I was watching you guys perform, I was watching when I not only did I watch the band, but I watched the reaction of everybody that's there. And when they're sitting there doing this, you know what I mean? Even if they're preoccupied with something else. I watched a guy sitting there making out with his girl, and he still had his foot tapping. That's amazing. And I looked at him, and I go to my girl, and I says, "Hey, honey, that's just like me having sex with my socks on."
What's wrong with that?
Nothing wrong with it whatsoever.
And that's the thing too. Like we love our music, and obviously we're proud of our music, but we're not going to be so big-headed to say that we're the only ones. Like, we got a great group of bands in the area who we work alongside with. We've almost formed like this alliance of like, hey, we're bringing rock and roll back.
Yeah.
We got bands like the Thin Lines. Like, we like the Thin Lines so much we share a damn drummer with them. Like, we got the Electric Howlers. We got bands like Porcelain Hill. Some real rock and roll bands.
Porcelain Hill is a great band.
Yeah, I
Porcelain
love
Hill's
them.
amazing.
Yeah.
And she is such a great drummer too.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
lovely.
great.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And actually, because Firing All Cylinders, the bass player, his brothers, in the band too. So, again, Firing All Cylinders, that's a great heavy band. But there's so much diversity when it comes to music in the IE. And that's one of the things with Chaotic Radio, where when I bring in when either I or JJ bring in bands, we try to make sure they're IE bands. I mean,
Right.
we know we need to bring in some bands from outside of the IE, but there's so much great talent out here. There really is, and I mean, I really think that Graves in the Bad Weather is one of those bands. I mean, you
Thank
guys
you.
have. I think you guys have. set a really different foundation as far as like music. That's why I was so confused about it. Wow, how do I fucking, and it's still, I mean, and then I'm going to put this CD inside my truck with my big power amp and everything. I'm going to crank the fucking shit out of it. And I'm going to sit here and still trying to figure out what the hell. Really?
If you figure it out, let us know.
Right? Then you guys know. Okay, well, Zig says it's like this, so that's what we're going to roll with. So now what are some other plans that you guys got going on? I mean, any kind of videos? I mean, you guys going to plan on a tour or something like that? I know touring nowadays. Because here's the deal. It's very tough to make money as far as band-wise, unless you're out there touring and selling merch, because you're really not making money on your music anymore.
Not really.
I mean, the band will go and then you'll make CDs. We know how much this costs. We've all been there and done that. But now it's just you sit there and you spend all the money going to the studio, and the CD is just something at least you can actually give away at your gigs. You're up on stage. Oh yeah, here you go, and then everyone's all clamoring for it, which is great. So now getting out there and touring and things like that. I mean, is that something that's next on the agenda?
That's
for
kind
the
of the
band?
next step. Yeah. I mean, we're kind of looking at that. I mean, we really the past, I'd say 4 to 5 months, we were playing 3. I'd say sometimes 2-3 shows a week.
Sometimes 4.
Sometimes 2 shows in one day, or actually there was that one day we played 3 shows in one day.
That's tough.
And
it was a lot.
We went really hardcore, and then now we treat the band kind of like a business because unfortunately you kind of have to.
Well, yeah, there's always that side
So
to it.
you really have to be methodical about it, and
Yeah, we're trying to space it out a little bit more now and make our shows more of events rather than just like, oh, they're playing again, or they're playing again. You know what I mean? Like make it more than just like, oh, they're playing again for the 5th time this week.
Yeah, we spent the first few months just kind of the strategy was to get our name out there so that people knew who we were. And then now it's, quality over quantity.
Yeah.
So we play the best shows we can at the best venues who unfortunately, I mean, the way that things are, you play 10 venues, only probably about 3 of them are actually willing to help and support the artists. So many of them, there's so many pay-to-play venues out there, and you just got to pass those up because it's taking advantage of you.
Yeah.
Well, 1650 is a really great local venue.
Yeah, we played there a couple of times.
Yeah, that and they charge at the door. It's not like the band has to pay to play. We've had that conversation on the show many times, where it's like, well, why does the band need to pay to play? Yeah. They're the entertainment. If you charge the door a nominal fee, but and then it goes back to the promoters, which I think promoters should be like something of the past. You know what I mean? The bands can promote with the internet and everything nowadays.
Yeah, we promote all our shows.
You can promote yourself. Who in the fuck needs a goddamn promoter? You know what I mean? If you're going to go into national acts, obviously you need to be in touch with someone that handles that kind of stuff, because national acts, they don't want to deal with that. Like, I was in Visions, for many years. We did a lot of national acts, and actually one of my favorite ones was Lita Ford. And so we obviously went through Joe, and I'm sure everybody else knows that.
Well, that's one thing.
Here's the thing, son.
Your daddy.
You keep doing that when I'm live on the fucking air, and you're not going to get any kind of goddamn attention.
I'm going to go back to what you were talking about, Zig. That's one thing.
Smack my son first.
Come here, kid.
Throw me the goddamn keys, Dad.
That's one thing we found out about is like you heard us like before we came on the air with you. I got a text and it said like, "Hey, want to play Battle at the Bands for Warped Tour on this date at this venue?" And I read it out loud. And we all kind of laughed and said, "Hell no," because you got all these guys like, yeah, it says Battle for the Bands at Warped Tour. Guess what? You're not really competing for Warped Tour. There's some bar owner or some promoter there who's just going to take all the money because he's going to make you sell 50 tickets to even get close to competing.
Actually, that was the one somebody shared some shit. There was a guy that was actually getting people to pay for play. Mm-hmm. He took the money, canceled the show, and fucking ran out of town.
Yeah, that happens. And honestly, like I don't do this very often. I'm going to say this is completely a solo act, not affiliated with Graves and Bad Weather.
Oh no.
I remember when I was a
Oh,
kid,
shit.
we used to play. I was in a punk rock band. We used to play Battle of the Bands at the Showcase Theater in Corona, and that was
Been there,
back
done
when
that.
Battle of the Bands actually meant something.
Shout out.
I was 16 years old, played the best show of my life because I won a Battle of the Bands. We got to open for Social Distortion at the House of Blues in Anaheim.
Nice.
I was 16 years old. Like now,
Yeah.
When I was 16, I got to open up for Molly Hatchet.
Oh, yeah.
That was
fucking way.
we played a
When
Battle
I
of
was
the Bands.
23, I opened for Lacey Sturm. Can I be in the club?
Like we played a Battle of the Bands a few months ago for a company called Right Records, and I'm going to say right now, screw Right Records.
Oh boy.
Screw everything to do with
Shots
Right
fired.
Records, because all these guys did was scam us out of money.
It's true.
Like, and then we showed up, we sold the required amount of tickets, even though as soon as we signed up for it, we looked at the agreement, we were like, this was a bad idea.
To be fair, I told him it was a bad idea, but he didn't listen.
Yeah.
You know, we're actually gonna do a show where we blast these motherfuckers. One of these
I'm
times,
down
like
with it. These
every
guys-
one of these guys that does this shit that fucking rips off the local
Yeah.
bands, we're gonna put them on blast so every fucking body knows.
Yeah.
And their fucking game is gonna be fucking.
Yeah,
complete.
We are.
These guys are criminals, man. Like, this is how bad it was. We showed up. I was the first. They sent out, like, what time all the bands have to be there. We didn't even want to be there. We showed up early because that's what we do. We are professionals. We don't show up late. We show up early to the venue so we can get all of our stuff staged and ready to go so we go on time for our set. We show up, first one there, hand them the money. Hey, sir, here you go. Here's what we agreed to. Just let us know what time we go on. Okay, you go on X, let's say 10 o'clock p.m.
Yeah,
You know,
the
you're gonna
first
play
ones
a-
I got there were supposed to have first dibs on what time we played, right?
Yeah. So you're going on at 10 p.m. You're playing a
That's a good
30,
time.
30-minute set. Not too bad. So, okay, well, hey, this is a wash, but at least we get to play to a crowd. Maybe we'll sell some merch. Maybe some people will dig our music. Well, then, 9:50 comes around, and we're like, okay, nobody's come to get us yet. We have all our stuff staged out back. What's going on? We got moved to 12:30.
Oh, shit.
And
That's a big move.
And nobody came and told us.
Yeah, nobody
And
told us.
I went up to the, I'm not going to say his name, but I'll bash his record company all I want. His record company. I said,
He used
that
the quotes
is the
thing.
most highly unprofessional thing I've ever seen. I showed up early. I was the only one on time out of all these dozen bands who showed up. We had an agreement. You moved our set time. What if I'm sitting out back all night just waiting to go on stage and you don't come find me?
Yeah.
That's bullshit.
Screw you, dude.
And the
Screw you.
band that ended up winning was coincidentally the band that sold the most
Yeah,
tickets.
and surprisingly, we lost.
Oh, wow. Go figure.
Which we never expected to win. We're not going to be that
No.
big-headed about it.
But
come
this
on,
is
man.
this is unfortunately something that me and Zig can, and I'm sure Vagina can concur with. We've been doing this shit since the 80s.
Sure.
Yeah.
Which is even 10 times worse of a douchebag, promotion bullshit gig. It was horrible. I
Yeah.
mean, we used to go and remember plastering your flyers. in
Oh,
Hollywood?
yeah.
Plaster your fucking flyers all over Hollywood to get so many people there, and then someone would come over and plaster their flyers over top of yours,
Yeah.
and then you'd have to go back and plaster, and then it's
It's like guerrilla warfare.
yeah, it's pretty bad.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's like it's just gotten progressively worse over the years, unfortunately. But yeah.
Well, you got to feel bad for the kids, too, because the band that won, they were a good band, but they were very young kids.
Yeah, they're
And this
like
is going to be
early
their
high
first
school.
introduction to playing live to people, being taken advantage of by some record company because they sold the most tickets.
Well, here's the thing: like when they sell tickets, it's like someone. I mean, trust me, I've done all those gigs with big bands and stuff. It's like you got to sell tickets. That's the shitty thing about it.
Mm-hmm.
But if you want the big gigs, and what's shittier about it is that the shows that some of the shows we've done, they don't draw people. Like we've done so many shows with Buck Cherry, and they don't draw shit.
That's the thing. Like if
They don't draw.
if we have to
Like
sell,
we drew more people than Buck Cherry drew. And it's like, what the fuck?
You're like,
Why are we selling tickets? That fucker should be selling tickets for our show.
Most of the shows at the end
'Cause
of
we
15
had-
were like that.
Yeah, because we do shows with like Metal Militia and shit. So
Yeah.
they fly and do their tricks over top of us when we're playing. So it's like, that's a bigger show than Buck Cherry's going to do. Oh, well, I'm a crazy bitch, whatever. Okay, hey, great. That's fucking fantastic, dude.
that's a good song though.
But
Yeah, that's a good song.
yeah, and that's never to say that there's anything wrong with selling tickets.
Yeah,
But
it's fine if the
there's
venue
many different ways
venue
of
does
selling
their
tickets.
part as well.
Exactly.
Like I'll put in
That's
half if
my
they
point.
put in
if
half.
they will take their part and back the bands the way they should,
Right.
then hey, I'm all for it.
And
And there's
that's-
plenty of venues that do, but then there's a lot of venues.
There's a lot more that don't.
Yeah, which I think that like 1650 is I think they will start a new, which was back in the day long before our time, where bands would play and then people would show up. You let people know when you're playing. They pay their $6, $10 at the door, and then they show up and they get decently priced alcohol and have a good time and party out, and then there it is. Not sitting there having to pay outrageous fees. Then you can't find a parking space and blah blah blah. So I think that's gonna 1650 is gonna set a new standard. I'm hoping everything works out. Frosty and Sphinx, from Xeno are really working on that. They've been doing a lot of stuff with 1650 and trying to get that pumped up, especially with Solon Records. And
they got a strip club right next door. It's a really good place to go.
I remember when the whole place was a strip club.
They're strippers. Who cares?
I care. I like strippers.
Yeah.
You know what? That's
my girl don't like strippers, but I like strippers.
You talked about 1650. Like there are venues out there that are legit. Like one place is.
I'm just as an example. You know what I'm saying? There are venues out there, and I don't think there's a reason why. If you're a good band, why you can't play there. And then the thing is, it's not thinking about yourself. It's about thinking, okay, well, you know what? Hey, Graves in the Bad Weather. Hey, guess what? We want to do this gig. We're going to touch base with Day Zero. Hey, we need to get together. The bands themselves need to get together
100%.
and start booking their shows, and then touching base with 1650 or Club Joe or Cha Cha, whatever, and say, hey, we have 4 bands that want to fucking play. So, here we go.
That's one of the other big problems too, I think, is a lot of bands or some bands. It's so hard. You get in your own head and you get in it for yourself, and you're not willing to give to other bands. And that's what the whole thing is. That's why we have some bands down here that we're really good with. And that's one thing that I've really enjoyed about going out to LA is the scene is really tight right now, especially in the female rock, like genre or whatever. Like everyone supports each other. And I think that's so refreshing. And, I think that's something people need to not be afraid of is like giving, because it doesn't mean you're going to lose everything. You're going to gain.
Yeah. For any female like rockers out there, whether you be a singer, a drummer, guitarist, bass player, anything, like look up Play Like a Girl LA.
Oh, they're amazing.
Leandra's been doing a lot of networking with them and going to their meetings. So we played one of our first shows in LA at the Hi-Hat on Friday. And we had several bands who she had networked with come out to support, and we'll do likewise for them.
And it was so sweet. I've never had that kind of reciprocation before.
Well, in April, who has a show?
April's so great.
From Raghouse Records. She's big on that too.
Yeah,
and
totally.
she does show her support. Yeah,
and whether it be females or males, like you got to realize the bands, like anyone who's listening, the bands were the ones selling the product.
Right.
We control the supply and demand.
And then that's what we're trying to do. Like he was mentioning, Vijay was mentioning the promoter thing. We need to get rid of that.
I can't take a
We need to get
shit ourselves.
That's okay because I call my bass player the yeast infection. When so I got Vijay and the yeast infection. Old Chuck, right? So that's the thing. Bands. Make it like the old school days where you would you come together and do your own. Book that gig and call that club and say, hey, we have 4 bands. Here we go.
And put in the groundwork.
And if you charge a minimum, a decent fee of like $10, that's going to encourage people to go out to a club. And I want to remind everybody that take the internet out of your brain and go out and see a live band. Go out and see a live band because you can listen to it all you want on the fucking internet, but I'm telling you, it is not the same.
It brings you to life when you see it live. Yeah,
and most of the times they have beer.
It's amazing.
Yeah, and there's beer too.
I mean, there can be beer at home.
Well,
it's different.
There should be beer everywhere.
Or what they call it the in the parking lot when you do the tailgate.
Tailgate.
So, anyways,
and Zig, one thing I want to say is like all the bands, professionalism goes a long way. Like
it does.
Go to a venue and don't just say, "Hey, we want to play." Say, "Hey, you know what? I did the footwork. I have these 4 bands who are going to play with us, and I will book the show for you."
Right.
Everything will go better with
And
that.
they
Yeah.
don't have to do any work. So, anyways, how do people get in touch with Graves and the Bad Weather Music?
It's gravesandthebadweather.com. Our Twitter is Graves and TBW. Instagram, Graves and the Bad Weather. Facebook, Graves and the Bad Weather. It's pretty uniform across the board.
Yeah, if you go
All
to our
right.
website, you'll
Hashtag
find
Hyena Rocket EP.
Hashtag Hyena Rock EP.
Rock
Yeah,
EP.
we have our album. We have all our show dates on the website, and we update our Instagram every day.
All right, very good. Thank you for joining me on the air. It was awesome.
Thank you for having us.
And again, stay tuned. It's chaoticradio.com, and Roy and Jimmy Thing is coming on next. And next Monday, we have the fortunate of having the CD release party for Resistance. Your just metal bands with swords and everything. So right. So, anyways, it's going to be a great show. Thank you very much again, Graves and the Bad Weather. Love you guys. And thanks
Nice to meet you
for
guys.
the
Thanks,
awesome
Zig.
talent. And get out there and go see a local band. We'll see you guys
Oh
later.
yeah.
Zig
Oh,
Zone.
by the way, hold
Yes.
up.
Since Scott McLaughlin wants to end the show.
Holy shit! No, Mr. Crowley will be at Palladino's this fucking Saturday.
Goddamn right.
Oh, there you go.
And System of a Down.
Not and June 30th at Saban Theater in Beverly Hills.
All right, Beverly Hills, look at you.
Going fancy.
You moved up to the east side.
Okay, since we're doing this, Graves and the
fucking
Bad
good.
Weather, June 30th at Black Beach. Come see us. I will personally give you a hug, and you can listen to some kick-ass music and then listen to Crazy Town.
Nice. Yeah, personal hug from Taylor. All right, guys, we'll see you guys later. Stick around for the Run Jimmy thing, and this is Zig Zone out.